How can you tell if a racket is good? So this is actually a good question, a question that I have not gotten before. Actually might take some time to discuss, so sit down, this might be a long video. The first thing we need to address is that there's a difference between objective good and subjective good. So for me, things that fall in the category of objective good is like the quality of materials, right? Does it have, for example, on the Yonex side, an MAND, right? Does it have, high-end carbon, right? Is it made of I don't know. You understand, right? What I'm trying to say. Is it made in Japan, right? Or is it made in another country? Those kind of things. That for me is like objective good. The actual construction and quality of the racket itself. Other things that fall into the objective good would be like its price or value. Value is a little bit more tricky because value is a bit more subjective, and we can talk about subjective good in a bit. Subjective good is kind of where the entire job of the reviewer is to talk about. Like, even though we can say we're unbiased, right? We are all human, so we're all going to have some level of preference or tastes or bias, basically. But really, the best way we can discuss how rackets feel is comparing them against each other. So, the more you test different rackets, the more you're going to kind of build your own database of what you like, what you don't like, and the price points, right? For example, you guys talk about, or you guys know how much I bash on the Yonex Play Series, especially in the Philippines, because of how overpriced it is. But if you're in a different country and the Yonex Play Series was selling for like half the price it was selling here in the Philippines, go get it. That's actually not bad. But at 5K or 6K at some places, even here in the Philippines, absolutely horrible, right? But yeah, getting a little bit sidetracked. So the way I personally talk about how a racket is good or not is I compare it against other rackets I like and at what prices they are good at. So for example, an easy comparison is like the LD 1000Z from OG Kills, right? Right? So like I really love the 1000Z, as most of you guys know. I know how much it's supposed to be, around 10K or around $180, something like that, right? And then here comes the OG Kills LD 1000Z, and this is, I think, 4.5, 5K, with the speed assist bumper plays to like 90% of this. So half the price, but 90% of the value. Obviously, a very good racket in my opinion. Then we have something like the Apex Fusion 722, very easy to use, right? Very user friendly, very accessible, and very cheap, right? So again, for me, good value, good performance, ease of use. Again, it's good in its different way, right? No pro is gonna pick this up because again, it's very flexible, it's lightweight, but it's good in another way that it's very easy to use, it's very user friendly, right? And it's very cheap. So again, good. I think the point I'm trying to make is that there are different ways to say a racket is good. But in general, the good should outweigh the bad, right? Which I think is the problem. Sometimes some people focus too much on just price, and the actual racket itself can be actually terrible. Either it's using super cheap materials, or it's just super painful to use, or the hitting feels bad, or it's a obvious copy of another racket, or it's a fake, right? But because it's super cheap, people think it's fine or it's good, which I don't agree with, because not only should it be cheap, it should still be a usable racket. Hence, like the Nanofusion 722. And then you have other rackets on the extreme end, right? Like the 1000Z, top of the line, very expensive, the most expensive rackets can be. But again, it's very good in its own right in a different way, right? It's winning Olympics, it's winning Super 1000s, right? The top players in the world are using it, and they are, breaking world records literally with smash speeds. So that is another way you can tell it's good. Then you have, of course, other rackets like these, like special edition, collector edition rackets, which I would not say is good, right? These are, 3 to 6 times the price of the original, but people will still buy them because they are collectors. So again, even though the performance is good, the price is not. So I would not I would not consider these good rackets. Last thing I want to consider when I say a racket is good or not is its target audience. So like, for example, the easiest thing for me to say is the Arc Saber 11 Pro, right? Arc Saber 11 Pro, I think, is a great racket, but I know it's not for me. Like, I even said this in my original review. Like, I can see the appeal. Like, it's very nice weight. It handles well. Its control is exceptional, but it's not for my playstyle. So even though I might personally not think it's good, I know that it's still a good racket. Okay. So it's been 5 minutes of me yapping. So let me try to condense this all together to kind of answer the original question. How can you tell if a racket is good? Since most of y'all are not, reviewers, let me answer the question on a personal level. How can I tell if a racket is good for me? Okay. So to know if a racket is good for you, you need to know kind of like what your play style is, right? How are you winning points? How do you like to play badminton? Right? Are you a defensive player? Do you play a lot of flat game? Are you winning your points from smashes, right? Are you winning your points from good placement? And from there, you can kind of extrapolate what kind of rackets would work best for you. So, for example, if you like to smash a lot, you probably are going to look for a racket that helps you generate power easily. So, a lot of people automatically think that means head heavy, but that's not always the case. Some people generate and hit harder smashes with a headlight racket, but with a stiffer shaft, for example. But at least you know that you need to look for a racket that is known to generate power easily. So once you come across a racket, say like 100ZZ, say 88D Pro, these would be good rackets for you. Okay, hope that helps.